proud to serve there for a while in the Assam Rifles. I think this is not what Manipur is all about. I mean, some peer pressure being created, which is something to win very political mileage, votes, etc. That the recent years are more towards the positivity. The margins may be very, very less. But as I said, I'm very, very hopeful. In another decade or so, the population will have a sea change where everybody have to deliver or they will have no, I would say, guarantee to come out the next time if they don't deliver. They are smart people, they are hungry people, they are motivated, they are trying, they have the opportunity to do so many things, which the erstwhile generations, the things were not there. If there are problems, there will be some solution, there will be some action, somebody has to take initiative, find the solutions to the problems, and go ahead and solve it. What is the heartbreak? Be more capable, find a more apt person, appropriate person, where you have the compatibility matters going. Have someone there and carry on.
Welcome everyone to AP Podcast, and for this episode we have with us Colonel Rahul Sethi sir, who is an army veteran and now running 4 startups at the moment. And one of the most prevalent startup that he's running at the moment is Fauji Salt and Lavi and Rose. जो ये पॉडकास्ट हुआ था इसमें हमने आर्मी लाइफ के बारे में, पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में, इंडिया एज अ कंट्री के बारे में एंड स्पेशली द मोस्ट स्पेशल जेन जी के बारे में बात करी थी. सो एपी पॉडकास्ट स्टार्टिंग इन 3, 2, 1.
First of all, thanks again for the video podcast. So the viewers just keep it bit Sabu has been kind enough to give us the second opportunity to be with us. Finally do the podcast second time. Apology for the first technical error we had, but thank you so much for being with us. The pleasure is all mine, Aftab, and the work you're doing and how it was progressed is really, I would say, pleasure to put this stars when your TV work hard. Last time we made it now, you people have some movies under your belt, some big podcasts under your belt. So you consider that there's still another going after reaching out there. I can really see a promising future. That's a really excellent answer. I am grateful for that. Beginning with the thing actually now knowing you the course that we had, having the gist of the conversation that we had last. The first thing that I really want to begin with is the factor of risk. If I go through a social media, preferably LinkedIn or Instagram or even documentary, the majority of the theme that I see in your life is about risk. That risk has been very prevalent in your life, and this has a lot more that what I was. So now that shift from again a very civilized, very secure government job to military, the risk factor was very big. And even now in distance, things are not settled all the time. It would be own billions of ups and downs and all that. So what do you feel about the own of risk?
Look, the risk and what do I say about it? So there are many factors that makes a personality a personality. And risk is very good, but yeah, from family days when you're young, under that, doing your education and stuff like that, there is always a sense and a belief of pushing us to do new things by our parents, by our family. So, that was already there, the personality, and then army pronounced it too much. So, army is a risky job, but it's a way of life which we live. And so changing and transitioning to army, from army to the entrepreneurship is, I think, the biggest so-called risk I've taken. But, you have to just see how it goes with your own fabric. For me, doing something which people may call out risks is nothing but a sense of self-assurance, a sense of that self-belief that I could do something in my life which I believed in and I could do it perfectly and confidently and successfully. And then that is just a notch forward. As a person, I'm going to evolve. For me, there was a journey of army of 23 years, and now our journey has started in the corporate entrepreneurial kind of world. So it's just a journey. Why to call it risks? It's easy.
What the fear of not being here, or the fear of not achieving the milestone that you have set for yours? What about the fear of falling?
The fear of not achieving milestone for yourself is one thing, and fear of not achieving a milestone for others to grasp or then to make comment is a different thing. I believe in doing a thing for myself. I have set out, mind to how to take, plan, design my objectives, and I try to achieve it for me as a person, me knowing what I can do, what I'm capable to do, and then just strive to work hard to get it. And if I eat with some so-called failure and so-called not kind of a successful routine or venture, for others' eyes, it has no merit in my eye. In my eye, even if I fail today, tomorrow I do something and will rise up again. So it's just a journey. Just be happy and evolve do that and be very, very proud of whatever you're doing. You can't just be down and you just sit and not to do anything. You have to keep doing it, pursue it. Have the persistence to do it, have the consistency to do it, and you surely can achieve it.
You and how will you be with it first thing and you are in that downscale of the life?
No, today I am making this comment. I am nothing. I'm just a rock of the ocean. I'm a new guy on the entrepreneurial board, right? But as you said, the life experiences when you have the hassles of being put into under the map, and some days are not good, some events are not good, some operations are not good, some life incidents are not good, some relations are not good, which all of us will be there in everyone's life, right? So once you have the understanding going through all these phases and journeys and various corners of life, you eventually get in maturity that these things are gonna happen, will happen, would happen, will happen. So when you know it, and it's something like this happen, the only way you can make it happen is to do something about it. Any incident which gets you down or makes you bitter for not being able to do so the way you wanted to do, the only way to get out of that is to have a thought that it's for me to move and make it happen. So once you have that thought, you may be down by maybe a day or a month or maybe some hours, maybe some incident, but eventually you'll come out because you're working towards it. So if you're working towards it with all your optimism and getting all the factors which can make the failure a success, I think you eventually get the success.
The almost transition from military life to being a civilian.
So military was a beautiful affair with life. I was in the army for 23 years, including my training period, and I commanded my unit in Siachen, and then I was nominated for what happened, which is validation that you're going up, so-called professionally. And that was the day I put on my papers in the middle of Corona to come out, and as I said, to evolve, to do something for myself, to do bigger, to do something which can give more meaning to life. And having experienced the army way of life for 2 decades plus, I want to do something in the civil life, maybe contribute more expanded way. So I'm out and trying to do that. The transitions are never easy, but they are never difficult also.
They give you that what's back. We coated sort of back and then the file just starts by the Indian Army from that particular time. So if we are at the opportunity to be at a being a quick position, and then again there would be a possibility of being promoted. Why did you hear that?
I don't know. That's the first question. I really think for me, the success and the failure is for me to decide what I want from life, and it is not prejudiced on someone else's opinion. What should be the success and the failure for me? For me, having the validation coming from the organizations that I meant for the hierarchy was good enough to accept, absorb, and be proud of. Surely the organization find me befitting enough to take it on in times to come. But having achieved that at that point of time, I thought it makes more sense to me to come out and maybe have a go at the civil life, maybe become an entrepreneur. But generally, people don't come and take down that position too, and maybe involve it in a different manner. It was all subject to the soldiers in uniform and you being the leader or whatever positions you are at. But outside, you have what to say. You can do more also, and still retaining your soldierly bearing to soldierly mental frame, and still caring for the people who are still in uniform. So I think I'm privileged to have this life when I still have the energy, and I'm out and going to give back to the civil world or to have a back at the civil world. I'm very, very excited to do that.
Talking about the army, I want to ask something specifically related to the army concept here. Like guns of Kashmir, by the sort of Kashmir. So some few weeks back, I was in Kashmir. So when I stepped on the Kashmir Valley, which be going live at its days and then finally spending some days there. The only thing which was constant throughout the time when I was in the valley was military. Military, I had a military police force. Like literally at the distances of 250 to 300 meters, we could see army patrolling. We could see people in the uniform going around in the jets. And these people were not equipped with some novel that most of them were carrying weapons like ETF Pakistan. And there's this culture like when an army convoy is going on in a city section, then the normal vehicles cannot indulge in it. Like, as in between the foreign cities, we often go and we overtake, but in Kashmir Valley became the things that these are sort of making to the valley militarized as being served into the Kashmir Valley part. How do you feel if it's this thing of Kashmir?
So yes, I've heard 3 tenures in Kashmir. I would say JVK and tenure in that. Firstly, I start the comment on the question by saying that I feel very sad that the population has to live with a militarized so-called drone. I sometimes used to think sitting on those mountains in Churanpot or wherever I was posted in, that if this has to happen in my place where I am from, say Palang village, outskirts of Delhi, I really would feel bad that, the families coming up, generations are coming up with the, people, children watching the weapons and the military there. So it's a very sad scenario, and personally, I can understand maybe that feeling a bit, because I like that it's not a healthy thing to have the children go in that kind of environment. Representing an organization, though not officially, I can make a comment on their behalf, but on my behalf, it's a very, I would say, a bad way of growing up. Having said so, why the military is there is the next question. So military is there not by its choice, like as a colonel, as a soldier, as a major. I don't know, serve maybe any place which, we have been not invited voluntarily to do that. We have been told to be there because the law and order situation is like that. So if the law and order situation, if there are some stigmas or conflicts or things which are not being solved till date politically, the law and orders can't be maintained by the state government. The state government then appeals the central government to have the machinery which can support the law and order there. So army goes where it gets the solicitation from the state government. In the present context also, army is there because there are problems, unless it is warranted. As far as we understand the local landscape as on day, the Kashmir is as important a part as Delhi or Mumbai or anything can be. There is a trouble we have been called for. We are supposed to do our best to ensure that the peace, calm, law and order, containment remains there. Things should be progressive and eventually it should solve so that military can go back and just remain on the border part of it.
Is it related to the removal of Article 370 that the Kashmir has been taken by parts?
The number of forces deployed there is, I think, at par or lesser than the number of forces which used to be there before 370 also. So I really am not sure that how it has gone up. In my knowledge, it has not gone up. 370 have its own, pluses and minuses and perspectives of various sides. But it has not affected the militarization of the valley. I don't think so. It is, I would say, much lesser than what it used to be in the late 90s. and maybe early 2000s.
So is it about also this Indian militarization as well?
No, I think that the Govt has a say in that you fill up the Kashmir and Jammu Valley, and then people should be there, military should be there. If per se there has been some extra, maybe you can feel that extra forces there. Maybe there's a movement for transitioning. Maybe the battalions are coming up and down. Maybe some now new formations are going up towards Ladakh and things like that. But personally, on a very honest and true scale, I don't think that any level of military has gone up in recent times because of Article 370. The earlier deployment was good enough to, take care of the order areas and also the second tier of defense which we have formulated then.
And because in the correct about the current paradigm that is in Manipur, it's written that the AFSPA was removed from there, and now the situation is worse. Sort of that it's like worse, and the government is also unspeaking. The Prime Minister himself gave a statement about releasing the unevent monsoon decision. That was that. So, what do you feel about the?
Look, I especially Manipur also has the militarized zone, and Manipur is actually a very big area, I would say, with the state, I would say, with various, tribal domination at respective places. If you go to the history of Manipur, Manipur had seen the Anglo-Myanmar war. Manipur had seen the influx of people coming from Burma, because of militarization of Burma, and people and tribes used to, come because they have relation this side. So this tribal going up and down, changing regions, and then the recent modern history, it has lots of, I would say, triggers. Now, if you really know the present dynamics is on, Metis are the people who are living in the valley, and tribals, Nagas and Kugis are people who are all around the valley, which is the hills. So tribals are all up, and the other main, I would say, segment Metis is on a valley. So now the 10% of the total Manipur is the valley, where you have the 65% of the population, and 90% of the total Manipur is all hilly, where you have the around 40% of the population. So there is less land here, there's more land here, there's more opportunity there, there's less opportunity there. Everybody thinks that people are going up and down in their respective, comfort zone and the opportunity zone. And this is how the conflict has taken shape presently. What is more sad, and the saddest part, is that the government of the day, the state and the central government, should have been able to contain it. We have air vessels, we have the resolve, we have the ammunition when they say not to fire, ammunition in the sense that we have the forces available on ground to take care of that situation, which has not happened. And such a sad, I would say, period of 2 months wherein more than 150 odd people have died. I think the handling of the situation has not been done well. I'm not there on ground, but this is my personal perspective, and I really am perturbed with the present situation of Manipur. It is not about which tribe you represent or which tribe you want to support. This is not our way as a normal citizen. It's a very sad scenario that, a huge country like India with capacity and capability to handle many things so all around can't contain conflict zone and can't contain it for 79 days. It's really sad, and all the prayers to the family who have lost their things, be it any tribe. We need to do something great to support, to reconstruct and have the peace going as soon as possible.
That the government is doing this sort of conflict. Like I was earlier talking and you were saying the history of each tribe. But again, with respect to that, I would like to bring in that perspective too. But Sim, I feel like there might be a possibility that the government just doing this sort of political focus because the government was supposed to remove the AFSPA from the particular state that is.
Look, I'm new to politics, so I'm nil to politics, so I don't know how political parties and political ploys takes place. But I fail to believe that a government of a nation like India can do it deliberately to create hassles like that. But I also am not aware that how political ploys are generally played to have leverages here and there. Personally, it is not a place wherein anything can do anything. If you really go through the history of Manipur, there has been conflicts like this. There has been tribal, I would say, enmity for long times. The only thing which has happened this time is that, so many children, women, this rape videos coming out. This has never been the, NAP, I would say, dynamics there. People used to, there has been 2, 3 such, issues previously also. But it never resorted to that thing, doing something as, I would say, worse as raping and parading someone nude is a shame. And it's a shame not only for the country, it's a shame for the harmonious and I would say such... I used to be very proud to be served, to have friends from there. Proud to serve there for a while in the Assam Rifles. I think this is not what Manipur is all about. The people are very, very proud. The people are very, very, I would say, courageous. The people have guts, loyalty, integrity of the highest order one can have, wherever they are affiliated to. And this is happening in Manipur is a collective shame. And I think in times to come, when things normalizes, the people there over there, notwithstanding whatever political party they belong to, and they surely would be ashamed.
Feel would be a possible solution to problems like at stake, like Kashmir and
Look, there is always a right wing, left wing, and a balanced wing. I believe in the balanced approach, which is the fabric of nationality. I am ex-serviceman. I think that if you are concerned about a country, if you are representing a country's polity or bureaucracy or anything, even businesses and stuff, if you are from a country and then you have that, blood of that country and the earth is, going through your own personality, you have to consider only the progression of the country. And the progression of the country is a collective progression. The progression of the country is a progression of the subjugated castes, people who needs that protection and then needs to be progressed upon. The nationalism has to be where the country goes up, where the population goes up, where the children have the right education. Here, what you're seeing is the losing of focus and then going back to the history and trying to create more triggers and still trying to lose it. That's not nationalism. You have been through a troubled day, I would say. The next day should be not to remember that trouble, but to find ways to get out of that trouble and start afresh. And then keep going in a progressive manner to take it to the next stage. Here, we are swindled and bowed down and pulled down by this incident, that happened there, that religion. This should not be the way. This is not a nationalist approach. I think there is an approach, but more people should be there in a nationalist approach than thinking left or right, but towards the country and the country's progress.
caste in politics or even caste in leadership would be evident in it explicitly.
No, I don't get the question. It can or cannot be.
Is it possible that caste-free elections or caste-free politics can be implemented in a country like India?
I just give a glimpse of army, not connected, I would say directly connected to it. Say in army, we have people from all the castes, all the religions. But once they are in a Paltan, they are part of the Paltan. Right? So there is no... Yes, people practice their own religion. We have within a wall or within a room. You have the walls dedicated to all the, I would say, major religion. People, have a masjid and a mandir and a gurdwara and a church within a small compound of 1,000 square feet and in a, I would say, field area. So there is no such trigger. Everybody is living in harmony because there is a bigger cause to it. The cause is that you're a soldier and you're a defender of the country. And that cause is paramount. Once that cause is paramount, and the freedom is there to do your respective religious thing or cultural thing or social things, I think an army battalion is a good example of that. When we can do it in every battalion in army, which is the second largest army of the world, why the same model cannot be replicated elsewhere? Because, as I said previously, the nationalistic approach is there, but it is missing in the whole context and scenario.
But is it also possible that people now in being nationalists are also being fascist, and then they are imposing the ideology on other people. Suppose if I'm a nationalist, I don't want to explicitly state that out in front of me. So, what do you feel about that? So,
You mean to say that nationalist people not saying things?
I mean to say that nationalist people who are extremely nationalist, but they sort of impose that ideology on other people.
A nationalist will not impose it. I'm saying that we are missing an imposition. And imposition is the hard word for a nationalist. Imposition is a wrong word. It's a dominating word. It's a negative word for me. Why would I impose someone, my will on someone? That cannot be a nationalistic approach. What I mean by the nationalist approach is that when we are talking about the progression, you're not talking about the other triggers which are curbing down, or as I said, pulling down the sense of nationalism. Think they should be doing to make their thing going. But if they're doing it, they're not nationalistic. They are subwings. Because the nationalists will always do something for the country. Modestly, certainly, generously, heartily. Where is this thing to force someone to do it? I can tell you, request you. But this segment, as I said, is a very thin segment. We need more people to be aligned to this thought process, be an example, and then should forward or follow a nationalist approach. Having me saying that some right-wing guy or left-wing guy, I think this is the policy, this should be the policy, everybody should follow that. That's not nationalism. My nationalism is different. I think we are not on the correct this thing. When I say nationalism, for me, nationalism, as I said, is a progression. Without any bounds, without getting us down, without any hard, fast, and imposition kind of a thing. Without thinking that my nationalism is better than yours. A nationalism is only progression. Everyone's progression. A child should be educated. A family should be going from lower level to upper level. There should be job. There should be opportunity. As a small capsule, becoming a module or a community or a nation, we should be going up and up and up. The focus, the triggers like Manipur or other places should not get us down. Create that enmity and wedges and the gaps. When again the focus shifted from progression to solving these issues and creating those issues, and then keep fighting over those issues. So that is the nationalism I'm talking about.
Indeed, the modern politicians or the modern development is implementing that sort of ideology which you say should be implemented.
I think when we say government of the day, my understanding of the government is different. We are also government. We choose that government, right? And the government is just not some politician making statements and becoming some minister of a particular ministry or something. There are bureaucrats. There is the law and order machinery. There is sound. There is businesses. Everything in government or support governments. So eventually, the thing which we are talking about, more and more people should think like that and head towards the common path of taking the country up at the progressive scale, then getting into this thing. The government doing it deliberately, not doing correctly and promptly and completely. Surely they're not doing it. That's where the problems are coming. So eventually the government should be such which handles nationalism the way it should be handled, than having a pseudo nationalism and then keeping and pulling triggers up and down, which is happening in the country. But eventually what you have seen maybe on the independence or on the progressive, whatever, 60, 70 years, 76 years we are out now, things are changing for better. We have a new generation of, 70% of people under 40 coming up another 4-5 years. So look at the young energy like people like you will be coming in. So you people need to be example, sit together, eat together, think about ideas, think about modernization, think about startup, think about winning over the world, commercially, economically, socially, culturally. So that is the winning over the world I'm talking about. If we all think alike and read there, this is what the progression and national fund.
We feel that the current government is sort of, I won't say killing, but it is evaporating the opposition.
The government system is the state government and the central government. Okay, so central government, you are saying curbing thing which we keep hearing from one side, the other side says I'm giving freedom, the other side says that there is no freedom. I think pressure, the political pressure is there. I see news debates, I somehow don't like it completely. Both ways, right? But I think there has been some peer pressure being created, which is something to win the political mileage, votes, etc. Which is, again, I say, is not the right kind of a nationalism I think of. Uh, they have
a position like is the current party which is in the power is a illegal position.
they are trying their best to maybe pressurize them to not to come to a scale so that they can't win the next election. So in that context, yes, there has been a political pressure as any normal citizen can see. Maybe all the main media channel I see, the quality of report, as I said, I don't feel like going through the complete, the breaking news and the mainstream news channels also.
Now there's this current alliance that is being built that's for India. Right. And now it's a very smart move to opposition staying like added this whole alliance as a position and sort of creating like it's India versus India, which to a not so politically aware guy will sound good. So what do you feel about this alliance? What do you feel about this whole India versus India?
Look, we are one of one of the largest democracies, and there are 45 crore people living there, and of that 50% people are in the age group of voting. So governments are there to play their minds and get their votes, the political parties. I really like the challenge which has come recently in last 3-4 months, wherein that Bharat Jodo Yatra has come up. And then many parties are coming and aligning themselves, making India NDA. And there is again a political rhetoric. Even people are saying Bharat is better than India. So it's a very funny, context it is. But there are people who think and react to a thing differently. What we are discussing about Indian NDA, other people may not be discussing in the same manner. Look at the gap, threshold of education, awareness, social system, rural or semi-urban belt. So people have their take. And they have take on the basis of what is being fed to them, what they are witnessing, see, and they react as per that. So yes, both the sides are trying to do their good. I would like to see like a good India-Pakistan match, a good India-India match in times to come. But more than that, I would be, personally would be praying that whoever wins the match, notwithstanding, should eventually do something with all the honesty, and the faith the country has, given to them. So if India is coming together with the amalgamation of so many parties who have an history of not doing well together for many, many years and having conflict, I'm hoping that this new India party which has come, or the collaboration which has come, we must have thought about how the future would be playing up if they come into power. So if they're not thought about that, and if the fight is only to win the match, then it is a wrong fight. So they need to know, they need to discuss, they need to decide that this India means for this. Because the previous cut-off part of India has not played well in many contexts. And on the other side, if India is winning India, right, it's the match of the day, anybody can win. Are they now convinced that after their 2 rules, 2 complete terms, they are going to do more changes, which is more, I would say, inclusive and takes everyone together in a right framing direction?
So the campaign for the India side.
I think it's just discusses that. If I have to say that, maybe the national level presence, I would say some senior leaders are there. Mallikarjun Arjun is there, one of the Congress, I would say, president. I like Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. What they have to do is yet to be seen. But I'm liking their campaign, how they're building up the speeches they give. But the speeches that my choice, your choice, doesn't matter. I would say the right person who does work is generally the person who's not seen. So I hope there are many unseen faces who should not be seen, not would like to be heard, but they will do their job and their responsibility diligently, because that only can push us through. Rest all is for others.
Of the central government forces, what do you feel about the administration that PM Modi has provided the last decade?
Administration, you mean to say the ministers and
it's like everything that was starting from the bureaucracy with actually executing orders
No, bureaucracy, the political class has no say on getting the bureaucracy into bureaucracy. That is a well-defined UPSC entrance exam. Not everybody has the guts to clear it. I won't say none of the politicians also can clear it. So UPSC and the bureaucracy or military is not subject to someone's favor. We don't come with someone's favor. We come on our own, hard work, dedication, and lots of sweat and hard work goes into that. What he will bring out on the position, as you are saying, is his choice, his bouquet of flowers. I don't know how strong of the bouquet of flowers, whether it is giving the fragrance or the smell, they are there to watch out themselves for. Some positions, some people I admire how they have conducted. Some things I am yet to understand, so I reserve my comment, but I am not impressed. But I don't know, I'm just a recently retired army guy, having one perspective.
Army quite decades. So you sort of saw the earlier government that was about the Indian government and now the Indian government. So you sort of saw what the major parties of the country are. Do you feel there was any sort of change in an administrative way, or any sort of change in executive way, especially concerning to some places like Kashmir and
the change is being brought about by the modern generation, the social media, the young population, the Gen X, Gen Z. They are going to bring about change. When any culpability is being stood out, when people are asking questions for the right reason, when things are being seen, witnessed, and being told that the decision would be based upon what is being delivered. And here there is a huge section which is still under the pressure of caste and those kind of voting patterns. So there is a mismatch. But what I've seen is that the recent years are more towards the positivity. The margins may be very, very less. But as I said, I'm very, very hopeful. In another decade or so, the population will have a sea change where everybody have to deliver, or they will have no, I would say, guarantee to come out the next time if they don't deliver.
how do you feel being only as a leader?
I'm not right there. I don't know.
Obviously, but overall, in the ways these any actions and decisions.
I told you, I don't believe in rhetoric. I don't believe in somebody saying something aloud and I have to believe it, and nobody should. I have been into an organization where, it's action which matters, and actions should be seen on ground. So if somebody makes good speeches and have the, I would say, energy and the charisma to influence people, I'm not influenced with that. I think if the country is still looking for solutions to many triggers, there is lots which needs to be done.
There's way more since some money go what that is. PM Modi has given full authority in our 18 pictures. Like starting when he was 16, I guess, he had the surgical strike here. After that, there he was strike that period.
After the, very honestly, there is nothing which is like having full power. And there is nothing like the army was not aware of its powers when it was there before any government. There is a mandated version of what we do in army or defense forces and police forces. And we have been doing that only. The projection, or as I said, the rhetoric or the media glare or pronouncement that somebody has given powers, it's not. The previous government also, the powers are vested. It is, nobody can just give it and take it. Nobody can do that. So the army powers of various operative, mechanics is already there. And army use that power as per a mandate which has been assigned to it as per that geographical area they are serving in. So there is absolutely nothing which has changed in decades and decades. It is just some media words of you telling me somebody has said that powers has been given. I have not heard of that. I have not seen it. I have not felt it. I have commanded in that era only. So what I was doing as a lieutenant major and my seniors were doing as a CO or the brigade commander, I have seen that the same thing was happening here. But yes, more maturity into army coming in to take care of the instances and triggers and to not to let it go, out of the hand, to deal with one maturely. And, that level has been established. But there's no, political gimmick or saying that some powers have been given and taken. It can't happen like that. See that the reaction of a trigger erstwhile in I would say insurgency areas, and we being new to the insurgency and how to do the conflict solution used to be something else. And now with experience into that, with more awareness, with more interactions, with more societal interaction, that reaction has become more subtle. The reaction has become more daring to resolve it without any, leading it to something which is a mishap. That is the maturity I'm talking about, which used to be there maybe only on the upper echelon of hierarchy of officers, but it has gone and settled down to the last of the soldier who comes new, and he knows how to conduct himself in an operational scenario. And that conducting himself in an operational scenario is for the population. We don't want to trigger, we don't want to trouble, we don't want to do anything. We need to maintain the peace and the calm, even if the cost of somebody fleeing away here and there is an absolute mandate, and people follow it. I can vouch for it.
Now, moving towards the Gen Z sort of discussions. I honestly want to tell this to the listeners that Sir has some like really very big things to tell about some basic problems that I guess every Gen Z guy or girl is facing, or even them. Like, you have to respect. So, with regards to that, at the moment, so there are so many things that goes on in the life of a Gen Z. As in, earlier, I was telling you this that एक 20 साल का जो लड़का है लड़की है वो अब खुद को वैसे कंपेयर कर रहे हैं जैसे वो 30 साल के हो गए. Like मैंने लाइफ कुछ नहीं किया, I haven't done anything, I haven't achieved anything, I have lost it all and I don't know where I'm going. So ये जो सब peer pressure है, this has been very prevalent in the current time of the Gen Z. What do you feel about that?
The young people are so brilliant, interacting with you, and now being out from Anna the last 2 years, sitting in Delhi. I've interacted, we do lots of events, and then many people come, the youngsters. I think then the next generation has to be better than the previous generations. There's no doubt in my mind. And every generation is more smarter than the previous one. And so is the case with Gen Z. They are smart people, they are hungry people, they are motivated, they are trying, they have the opportunity to do so many things, which the erstwhile generations, the things were not there. So maybe a clash of opportunity or so many things happening, so many people doing so many different things, and somebody getting into peer pressure, maybe there are some people, as you are saying, but why we are here in life? The most important thing in life is to have oxygen. And the second most important thing in life is having water. So if you have oxygen and water, everything can be achieved. And any failure or any peer pressure or any depression, any small thing can be turned into a happy thing if you are just working towards it. So I don't think that people should take pressure. They should just live and live hard and party hard.
And like you had a very different stand when it came to healing. Like you said, like healing is something that you don't support much, and you feel that one must face the adversity. So, what is your overall stand on healing? Like nowadays, this trend of therapy, going to a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist is very vibrant now. And Gen Z is considering that, and Gen Z is also given the title of being soft many times, many situations.
Healing, what is healing? I really can't make comment on that. I'm not a healer. What I can say is that, life is like day and night. If there are problems, there will be some solutions. There will be some action. Somebody has to take initiative, find the solutions to the problems, and go ahead and solve it. Now, the solution may come in a moment, in a single changing of a mindset, like a twist. It may take 7 minutes, it may take years. There may be many such problems and triggers. But the only way to live it is to take it as an experience, find solution to it, and keep working toward that solution. So if you have understood that having solutions, having problems, having issues, having breakups, having losses, is a part of life which is natural in capitals. It's a natural phenomenon. Who has a life which has no problem? None. Right? So if it is a natural process where it is going to happen, that the only other natural process is to find solution. So a natural process is happening. Why need a healing? Take it in a natural process when do and solve it. Any thing where there is no solution.
Could be happening to many things.
Tell me, maybe one is alive.
Maybe the major heartbreak.
Heartbreak is not a fucking problem. What is heartbreak? You have someone has you. Now the other person doesn't like you to start with, that kind of a scenario. You may be the same person who may not like her. Or now you take it if you're feeling so bad. You have a sister. She also was going through someone. You have a lover. She's going with you. Now this lover of yours who's giving you heartbreak, and your sister also has done the same thing, and she's justifying you. And here you are getting into the hard one. What is the heartbreak? Be more capable. Find a more apt person, appropriate person, where you have the compatibility matters going. Have someone else and carry on. What is heartbreak? Your life has not gone. Your limbs are intact. You are breathing. There is still day and night. If there is something which has happened, you have to get over it, give space and move on. And there are many scenarios which may happen. I can't, describe every scenario. You just said heartbreak and just immediately gave it to my mind. Heartbreak is nothing. Heartbreak is having compatibility issues between two people. It can be from either of the sides. Any which way that has happened, you have to accept it. And with all the respect to the other person, carry on. There surely is someone waiting for you to spend your life with. You have to open your eye and open up the space. If you have the space, somebody will come.
What do you feel about the current
Heartbreak.
No. What do you feel about the current generation getting into these so-called situationships?
You know what's the it's a very extended
I love it, please.
the situation in which you are involved with the person. The battle might be physically, but there is no that, there is no bond. You're just there. Not a friend, but not more than a friend, a bit. So, like, the Gen Z is sort of indulging in FaceTime. So, what do you feel about that?
So it is your thing. You're indulging in that. If I would have been maybe 20 years younger, I would have loved it. Right now, I have no comments. But till the time I was healthy, till the time I was accepted, till the time it is not imposition, till the time it is not affecting, people in any adverse way, I think people have all the right if they are adult and mature enough to take their stand and take their opinion to do anything. If they are actually agreeing to that, absolutely, I don't know, personally even think why there should be any problem.
I don't know if there would be any way, or in case of advice, like usually they feel the end of the there, on the sum up here. Like if there would be any way you could give an advice about the so-called art of living. Like it's a very big bell, but I'll request you to summarize this in the way you can. That the art of living, but it comes to the young people who are living on, like you are also empowering so many young people, so many young folks, getting them peace, helping them in their lives. What would be your piece of advice for them in terms of this, the whole idea of
So today, if I have a summary, you ask me questions about Army, I am capable because I've had the professional experience to maybe react and answer some questions. You ask me about politics, I'm not a politician and I'm not capable or maybe qualified to answer it. You ask me about Gen Z and I still answered it and not on Gen Z. The only realization and the message I want to bring upon is that when you realize honestly and you are able to deliver it in front of anyone and everyone, that this is what I know, this is what I don't know. Accept it wholly for your consumption, for your own soul, whatever happiness and only peace and content. I'm talking about Sadhu Baba now, 4G Baba. Then I think you're on the right track. Life is all about evolving. Life is all about learning. Life is all about accepting that there is so much to learn and to learn from anyone. I'm learning more than what you may be learning from me. You may not realize it. But I'm learning because I have my things opened up to absorb the learning. I am here to learn. I am here to live the life. So my only honest, small art of living advice would be, please don't take issues, problems, negativity, pessimism seriously. Take the other side, optimism, doing things, execution, action, belief in yourself, seriously. Once you do that and keep yourself open to adapt, to learn, and to share your opinion openly for a right cause, I think you're on the right track. And nothing else matters. We are here, and to live this life, the life will be with pluses, minuses, with rigors, with challenges. God has given you this chance to accept the challenge and carry on. And you're crying like a sissy or a baby to not to do this, not to do that. So Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, get on your toes and live it completely. What you think as Gen Z, I don't know what Gen series is coming now, but after 2 decades, you'll find that what you realize at that point of time, everything has changed, and then whatever you could have reacted now, you are reacting now. After a decade or so, the same problem, same issue, you'll be reacting very differently. That's what the 10 years of maturity will give you. That's what the 10 years of going through many such problems will give you. That will still give you a smile to deal with and keep carrying on with faith, belief that you can still live in it.
Wonderful to hear such a nice art of living.
No, please don't do that. My title is there. So I will do startups. I'll still just remain there. There are many Babas coming up. I don't align to that thought process. No Babagiri. Sorry?
You not talk about spirituality here. Is there in particular?
No, I don't want to get absorbed in this 4G Baba and any Baba kind of a scenario. I don't align to the Babagiri. So,
No, but specifically, like the different when I was asking you about spirituality.
yeah, everybody needs to be spiritual. What is spiritual is everyone's own definition. So my definition of spirituality, I want to be given in many words now. My spirituality, and I have to live it. I have to live, not to harm anyone, respect everyone, be part of the system, contribute honestly, efficiently with all my heart, and push and do my meaningful changes, whatever I can do in my domain and my ecosystem, whatever ecosystem it is, small, large. So if I am doing that, that is spirituality for me. For you, spirituality may have a different meaning. Anybody may have a different meaning. I love all the perspective. I follow mine. Simple.
I guess you might do a part to some type of 4G or part.
No, I don't use that thing.
Again, thank you so much again for being with us. Like, it was extremely nice to host you again, and I really enjoyed this conversation. I believe that this conversation was nice, but again, I guess you were not to hurt any sentiment or something, but you were better prepared this time. Like last time you were like...
Yeah, last time I was on the podcast for the first time. Now, you never that. Now you've taught me so much and I've learned so much. Look, I'm a learner, so I'm trying to maybe make more sense out of it. But many such things I must have said there and there. But that's my strongest belief system, to be open, to learn, and to contribute. Honestly and optimally. You are very young. And you have to live in. Thank you, Aftab, the team. I really loved it.